The early years space in India and really the world over has seen a massive shift in the way that adults view children of this particular age. There is a huge movement to give children more autonomy and more agency, because that is directly linked to their ability to regulate themselves, function successfully in any environment that they're in. And to us, the approach that works best is a gentle caregiving approach. There are several parents who have looked at this very intensely, because it's really not an easy approach to adopt, because very few of us have come from gentle caregiving homes, because we've come from authoritarian homes, because that's how our parents knew how to do things best, right? And they did the best they could by us. Does that necessarily work for us as parents or as caregivers? I would say no, because all of us have different preferences. We'd like to do certain things differently. As parents, one of our primary challenges was to find a daycare or preschool that would really care for our children the way we wanted for them to be cared, to support a mom who wanted to go back to work, to support a mom who wanted to continue breastfeeding her toddler, all things that, tend to kind of garner some censure around us. And we really truly wanted a space that would handhold us. We realized over a period of time that it was more us as mums and dads, of course, that required the hand-holding and guidance than our children, because the children were very quick and very intuitive to pick up on energies that were there in a space that they entered. And so for us to be able to create a space that saw the mum that wants to go back to work, that saw the mum that wants to continue nursing but isn't quite sure how to do that with a a preschool routine in the mix. How do we support parents like that? And that's really what Earthlings is all about. How do we really support parents through some of the most difficult times with young children, especially if you have more than one child? While a lot of parents here have only single children, and that's equally challenging, because then you also want to be on top of everything. The lack of support or consistent support vis-a-vis nannies or caregivers at home, all of these kind of culminate in a very cornered parent, and with absolutely no, not being gender stereotypical here, but it usually is the mum that gets cornered, right? So how do we help a mum like that, or a parent in that situation? We need to be able to offer information. We need to be able to offer support that they can see, that is tangible. We need to be able to give them eyes on what is happening with their child here, because anxious first-time parents, anxious second-time parents, anxious fifth-time parents, anxiety all through, because after all, it is a child who's not yet communicative, who's not yet able to form coherent thoughts or able to communicate them effectively. How do you safeguard those little humans in your property? How do you keep them safe physically? How do you keep them safe emotionally? It also really means that you need to have your parents completely on board with how you're doing things. And the only way to marry these two things, we found, was to be able to communicate effectively, communicate consistently, communicate in as transparent a fashion as possible.